Good evening. Welcome to Marty's Fly Tying Bench. Tonight's pattern, actually it's this week's Vice Squad 6-pack pattern, is a rusty spinner. This ranks right up there with ants in the list of underutilized effective flies. This thing's useful in small sizes when you get a spinner fall of blue-wing olives, in medium sizes for pale morning duns, and your summertime mayflies like rusty spinners. And during green drake hatches, you can fish this as big as a size 12. We're going to tie on a size 16 today. It's a comfortable size to practice on. Let me get that level. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a rusty brown thread. You can get by with black, but this one's a little more forgiving if you happen to get a little gap in the turn of your body material. Now the tail material is going to be these mayfly tails, also known as micro fibbetts, and what I'm going to do is just get two of them separated and then cut them off the little paintbrush. Now spinner tails are much longer than the body, so go ahead and exaggerate that one, get them out there. I want to stay on the straight part of the shank. If I make my turns any amount down the bend, it makes it a little harder to do this next part. Now, my tail is right on top, two fibers side by side. I'm going to make one pass of thread underneath, and as I pull it snug, you'll see it cocks that tail up. Now, if I flick it a few times, I can get them to separate just enough for me to lift my thread in between them, and you'll see what happens is it's pulling the near one out, but as I pull forward, see what happens? It pulls that far one apart. So now I've got a nice set of divided tails with just a couple of wraps. Body material is turkey biot. Nice long fibers, much easier to work with. They're soft, so you don't have to soak them like you would a goose quill. And no matter which way you tie them, they're going to be, the fuzzy side's going to come out, so you don't have to worry too much about which way you tie them in. Now the very tip of it's going to be brittle, so let's just get rid of it. Make these turns rather gentle as well. You don't want to cut into the material. It is soft. And at least have an even body, if not tapered a little bit. And as I wrap this, each time I go around, I'm just going to touch it with my finger to hold it in place, push the bobbin out of the way so I can get at the biot for the next turn. You can do this with hackle pliers. Sometimes just the weight of the hackle pliers makes it more difficult. You only needed to come forward about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way. We're going to use the front part for wings. Now the wing material is McFlylon, and you can see that every inch and a half, couple inches, there's kind of a knot in there. The easiest way to handle that is cut it right on the place that it's bundled, and then with the tip of your whip finisher you can pull them all out straight. Now you're only going to need half of this bundle, so get them separated. I like to take a 4 or 5 inch piece of this and get it all teased out so that I can tie the second and third wings a little more quickly. If you twist this stuff, you can get it to kind of meld together and be a little easier to tame. Now, all I'm going to do is make 2 turns right on top of each other. Then the near wing I'm going to pull towards the front so that I can get the thread behind it and make 2 turns in the opposite direction. And that's it, 4 turns. I'm going to sweep that out of the way and get a few security wraps. Now, one thing I like to do is I'll make a few turns to go under the wing on both sides. You see what that does is it lifts those wings up just a little bit. Now our dubbing is going to help set those wings in the precise place that we want them, so let's get some dubbing. This is Superfine. You want to get a rusty brown or something that matches your quills. And rather than just jump right in on crisscross wraps, I like to sweep this out of the way and kind of build the front part. And you see how it cleaned up all those wraps, all those stray wing fibers. Now I'm going to sweep the wings forward so that I can do the same behind it. And now when I'm pretty close on the amount of bulk that I want, now I can just make a crisscross wrap here and there and just kind of continue to shape it. And I basically just keep wrapping until I'm out of dubbing. Now, getting these wings even takes a little bit of practice. You're going to pull them straight up, and it's kind of hard to tell which direction is. Let's see, there we go. And then your scissors need to be very level. Not too bad. Little tip here, just make your wings a little longer than you think you'll need them, because you can always cut them shorter on the field, and if your wings aren't the same width, you can always trim one. There you have it, rusty spinner.